Good afternoon, dear students. You are most welcome in your favorite YouTube channel, Learning with Rajesh. In 10th class civics, we have started lesson number 2, named as Federalism. In the previous lecture, we learnt about the meaning of federalism and the characteristics of federalism. Today, we will read about the different formation of federation in the country. There are two types of formation of federation in the different countries. First is coming together federation and second is holding together federation. So why are you going to read about it? Because there is a difference in powers according to the formation of federation. So we shall read it now. So there are two types of federation in different countries. First is coming together and second is holding together. So coming together federation is the system where the states come together. You can learn it with the definition or with the main point that coming together here means let's come states and let's form a big unit. So in this type of system known as coming together federation, states come together to form a big unit, and while forming a big unit, they retain their identity, they retain their different identity, and they can increase their security also. While they have a bigger unit, they can increase their security, but they can retain their identity differently in this type of federation. And the next is example of coming together federation: the USA, Switzerland and Australia. In these countries there is coming together federation system. And as I told you earlier, there is difference in power according to the different federations. In coming together federation, states have equal power in comparison to central government. They have equal power. And the next is holding together federation. When power is divided between constituent states and the national government, it means states are formed in the country and they have different powers in comparison to national government. This type of system is known as holding together federation. I think you got the point. When power is divided among the or between the constituent states and the national government, the system is known as holding together federation. In this type of federation, central government have more power. It means central government more powerful there. And some units are granted special power. Some units are granted with special power, as you can observe in India. Some states have granted different powers. The states of Northeast, and you learned that special power was also given to J and K, but it's ended now. So you learned this point with the help of example, I think. And the examples of countries where the holding together federation is there: in India, in Spain and Belgium, there is holding together federation. I think you can write an answer when there will be 5 marks question in the exam. Differentiate between coming together federation and holding together federation. I think you got the point. And the next, what makes India a federal country? You learned that in the features. And in the next point yesterday, how can we say that India is a federal country? We learned that India is a federal country because there is distribution or decentralization of power, and there are different levels of government. There is judiciary and there is constitution and there is different jurisdiction. And the next point, we are going to learn that how is India, or how What are the main provisions done by the Constitution to make India a federal country? So we learn that distribution of power. There is distribution of power. You learn that is known as decentralization of power in India. So what type of distribution of power? Legislative power. There are different legislative power ordered by Indian Constitution. So for legislative power, there are three lists made by Constitution. List means list of some laws, some subjects. Some subjects are there in which a special type of government can make the law. There are different list of subjects for legislative powers. I think you got the point. There are three major lists made by the Constitution for distributing the legislative power. First is union list. In this type of list, there are different subjects on which the central government can make law. Remember it. Remember it that in union list, only central government can make law. And subjects are defense, foreign affairs, banking, and communications. These are some examples. And there will be option type question or matching question. So, which is the main subject related to union list? And you can answer it, I think. And the next is state list. In Constitution, there is a state list in which there are different subjects on the state government can make law in the given subjects. State list, in the state list, only state government can make law. And what are the subjects? Different subjects. And we are going to read it. Different subjects are police, trade, agriculture, and irrigation like. These are the subjects related to state list. And the next is concurrent list. Both government can make law. State government can make their different law in the concurrent list, and the central government can make the different law. And what are the subjects here? Marriage, trade unions, adoption, and succession. These are some example of subjects included in concurrent list. And the next, if there is a dispute between both government, it means in the central government or the state government, the central government's law will be preferred. It means more importance will be given to the central government's law. I think you got the point. And the next, residuary subjects. The subjects which occurs after the making of Constitution are included in the residuary subjects. As you know that our Constitution referred three different lists, but this is the fourth one list. It means residuary subjects. So which subjects occurred after the making of Indian Constitution? So like example is there, computer software. And the next point of today is, as we learned that in holding together federation, some states have more power, and you know that central government is more powerful. You can imagine that the states have less powers. And this type of states we have in India. These are known as union territories. So what is the meaning of union territories here? Two small areas that cannot be separated, or that cannot be made as a separate state or mix in another state. The central government is not able to do this. So to mix in another state, or they are too small that cannot be named as a separate state. These type of areas are known as union territories. For example, Chandigarh, Delhi. I think you got the point now, and you learned it in the previous class also. Amendment in the Constitution. So you know that there is separation of power or distribution of power by the Constitution. So when there is a amendment in the constitution, about the distribution of power or what type of amendment is there. So how it is done? It is not an easy task to amend the Indian constitution. So only parliament cannot do this amendment. Two-third majority of the parliament. Two-third majority here means firstly passed by the Lok Sabha and then by the Rajya Sabha, and after that 50% of legislature of the states. It means by the Vidhan Sabha of the states, 50% legislator of the states. For example, there is 28 states. 14 states have to be recommended for the amendments. I think you got this point also. Now, the last point of today is a role of judiciary. There is a role of judiciary in India. You know that judiciary is the safeguard of constitution. How the government is implementing the provisions of the constitution, it is overviewed or judged by the judiciary. And here dispute about division of power. Judiciary also here dispute about the division of powers, and by High Court and Supreme Courts. It is heard by High Court and Supreme Court. I think you got all the points of today. If you are new on my YouTube channel, please subscribe the channel, like and share also, and press the bell icon for latest information. Thank you and have a nice day.